This is when 9 to 5 ends and real talk begins. The After Five Diaries.
Hey you guys, hey 9 to 5ers, hey corporate people, welcome back to the After Five Diaries, a podcast where we talk about 9 to 5, its beautiful chaos and everything in between. My name is Funa. So today I coined my topic, I coined it into a question. It's a very necessary conversation that we have to have. Is 9 to 5 killing creativity? Is it fueling it or is it killing it? You wake up at 6 a.m. or something, or maybe a time earlier than that, you commute to work, you get to the office, you send emails, deliver on your KPIs, you mind your business at your desk, you go back home, you scroll on social media, you sleep, you wake up, and then the next day you repeat the cycle. So it's just like a repeated cycle. And somewhere between sending or delivering on your KPIs and sending emails, your creative spark is dying. Your creative side remains untapped. So we're here to talk about that today. So today in the studio, I have a digital creator and a storyteller, someone who has made an entire brand from his creativity. Everybody help me welcome Daffy Richards. Welcome to the pod, Daffy.
Hi guys, but really I'm super excited to say the least, to be honest. The first time you reached out to me about this pod,
Yeah.
I felt like it's a necessary conversation
Yeah.
to have, not just this one. I mean, the conversations that have been ongoing,
Yeah.
it's important to have them. And when you reached out to me, I felt like, oh my God, thank you. I feel so honored.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, you felt that way. Interesting.
yes,
and you
I
were
felt.
forming, do you know the forming for me? I didn't know you were feeling that way. Interesting.
What should
I'm
I
glad.
do? I should jump in the snow.
Thank you so much, Daffy. Thank
Oh,
you for
yeah,
being
yeah,
here.
yeah. Thank you so
for
much.
honoring our invitation.
Oh, yeah.
We are honored that you're here. Thank you. So let's get into the conversation.
Awesome.
So about 9 to 5 and creativity, I know you're a digital creator, and that's why I actually reached out to you. I follow you. I enjoy your posts. I enjoy your creativity and everything. I felt like you're a very good add to the After Five Diaries. So let's talk about your creative side, the creative part of you. Okay, so Daffy, to be honest, I need you to let us know if we have to escape 9 to 5 in order to be creative. Can they coexist together?
That's a very interesting question, to be very honest, right? Very, very interesting question, because I feel like these are conversations that we need to continually have.
Yeah.
And I say that because there are so many layers to it, in the sense that despite the fact that we banter about these things, about the toxicity of the workplace, how hostile some environments can be,
Yeah.
it then begins to make us see the whole idea of, the 9 to 5 space, the work environment, as something that we need to escape. Somebody said something very interesting. He said that if you do the job that you love, right? But I want to add to it, not just the job that you love. If you do the job that you love in an environment that appreciates and celebrates and rewards you for the efforts that you put in, your body and your soul will go to work.
Yeah.
But if you don't do the job that you love, bad enough, in an environment that is hostile, that is toxic, your body only goes to work. Your soul is at home waiting for you to come back on Friday, right? That's why you're always looking forward to TGIF, thank God it's
Yeah.
Friday. And then on Sunday night, you're dreading Monday
The
again.
new week. Yeah.
Now, back to the question. Do we need to escape 9 to 5 in order to be creative, right? It's because we look at creativity and the work environment or the workspace as two mutually exclusive things. They are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
It brings us to what is creativity in the first place, is being able to, turn new ideas into innovations, or turning old ideas and trying to turn them into ways that sparkles inspiration or innovations or new thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? So they are not mutually exclusive. It means that in the work that you do as a banker, you can also be creative at the work that you do in your work as a bus driver. Remember this guy that did this H2O guy
Okay.
that sold water in traffic?
Yeah. Yeah.
He brought in creativity into the work that he was doing. He doesn't necessarily need to be an artist or a content creator or a barber. He found creative ways to sell what he was doing. So they are not mutually exclusive things. So we don't need to escape it in order to fuel our creativity. So what I think that is happening is that there's just a lot of stress, toxicity, hostility around the work environment, pressure that doesn't allow the creativity of the average 9 to 5 to thrive.
Yeah. I like that. The environment. So let's talk briefly about this environment that we just spoke about. I know that, like you said, there are really good work environments that could help your creativity.
Oh, yeah.
And some people argue that a structured environment can help your creativity as well. Let's talk about 9 to 5 as a very structured place, a very structured institution, like corporate jobs, corporate culture. So do you think structure will help this creativity thing, because creative minds, they need space. For someone to be creative, you need space.
Oh,
You
yeah.
need time to think. You need time to innovate. So do you think you being in an environment of 9 to 5 that is structured, oh, there's time to do this, there's time to have your meetings, there's time to deliver on task, do you think it helps creativity in a way? Do you think it will help you innovate and think of creative things to put out there, as someone who is a digital creator, as someone who has other side hustles, as someone who has other things they want to do in combination with their 9 to 5? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, and I feel like that's another interesting question.
Yeah.
I need to give you 5 star for really interesting
Thank
questions.
you, Daffy. Thank
You
you.
do this for a living, I mean.
Yeah,
Ask
it's a
questions.
side hustle. This is my creative side that I'm using.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Okay.
Yes, so structure. Does structure inspire creativity or does it kill it? I have I have 2 ends of answers. Like there's the answer, but they are on 2 ends of a spectrum. So here's what I'm going to say. I work in digital marketing and I've worked across different agencies. I'm saying this to say that I've worked in organizations that actually employ you to be creative, that people know. In fact, they are called creative agencies. So they employ you to be creative, right? Good. Now, does structure help that creativity? One time I was doing a research and I realized that creativity actually happens within the bounds of limitations.
Okay.
You know how people say think outside the box,
Yeah.
think outside the box, think outside the box, and then you're like,
I'm in the box.
you don't even know you're in the box. You're like, okay, what is the box, right? Now, thinking outside the box, it just means that it's an illusion, right? There is no such thing as thinking out. There is actually, but when you think outside the box, you are thinking within the parameters of another box.
Yeah.
You are creating another box for yourself to think within it, right? So how does creativity work? Creativity works by creating different boxes and then thinking within those boxes. Do you understand?
I get that.
Do you get it? If I say draw something now, you're like, I say draw anything. You first of all have to rationalize, okay, what do I want to draw? You can't just close your eyes and just say you're drawing anything now. Even in closing your eyes and say you're drawing anything, you still would think about what you want to draw. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it works within boxes. So I think that structure, the right structure,
Yeah.
would help foster good creativity in the workplace. The right structure. And when I say structure, I mean the right structure. Because everything rises and falls on leadership. Many leaders, many bosses have stifled creativity from their employees because of structure. When you micromanage people, you stifle their creativity. If I give you a task and I'm looking over your shoulders to see have you got it done or you've not got it done, and I'm like, and you try to do something outside of the status quo or the scope of what we already know as an organization, I'm already looking at, no, that's not how we used to do it here. I'm killing your creativity in that regard. That's not a good structure. But the proper structure would actually help us funnel our creativity and channel it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
As creative people, as a digital creator, I want to get personal with you right now. Was there ever a time that
2-5.
okay. We'll talk about the funding after.
2-5 to get
Okay.
personal.
All right. So if as you as a digital creator, was there any job that you had at one point that I want you to speak generally, not just about
Okay,
you,
yeah.
that you felt like your creative side is shrinking? Like, okay, I need time to think. I need time to think. Okay, but I have meetings. I have
want me to
meetings,
rat
I
out
have
my
deadlines.
bosses?
Please, do. I want you to.
You want me to rat out my
I want
bosses?
you to. Okay, you have an idea, like probably a pitch just came into your head, and you're in a meeting.
Yeah.
You're probably in a meeting.
Yeah.
And after the meeting, you have to deliver a task. And then the pitch just runs off your head. So have you ever, that's a scenario, for instance. Have you ever felt like your traditional work environment was shrinking your ability to think and be creative?
I've left places because of the same reason. Not necessarily because the pay was bad, but once I realized that, maybe not once it is obvious that you pay me to be a creative person. I work in digital marketing, right? You employed me or you hired me to be able to creatively market what the company is about, our values, the brand messaging, our ideologies, and all that primarily on social media, right? And you are not a marketing person. You are a business person. You are a salesperson. and you are interfering with that process. Once I realized that you are always interfering with that process, it means that we really cannot work together, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? Not in a bad way, not because I'm rigid or because I'm not flexible, but because you would not give room for the creativity that you hired to
Yeah,
try. You won't
yeah.
you won't see it. You won't see it. I worked in a place one time, and I was about to mention the man's name. I worked in a place one time, and this man said, "Oh, we've been in business for 28 years. Really amazing feats that they've achieved. And so we now want to go digital. Let us hire a marketing team, a digital marketing team." Okay, great. So the person who brought me on board reached out to me, pulled a team together, got us a contract. We started working. Right now, he has been in business for 28 years. Now, somebody who has been in business for 28 years and has never gone digital before, right? It means that he doesn't necessarily need your digital marketing to sell. His customers know where they can find him. They know where they can get the goods. They know where they can get the pricing. Do you get it? So if you are coming on, you should be an added advantage for him. And he was thinking in terms of sales.
Okay.
If I bring you on, it means that our revenue is going to increase in the next 2 months.
It doesn't work that way.
So he brought us on. And then for 3 months, we were doing groundwork, trying to set up all of our digital channels, came up with the strategies, implemented them, started executing. But after a short while, the man was not just having it, and he fired everybody.
Wow.
Oh yes, he did. He fired everybody. He said, "Everybody go home."
For
This was
real?
like this was after, I think, after 5 or 6 months. Everybody, don't worry, just go home. Now, in that kind of scenario, throughout the time, there was no space to be creative.
Okay.
The space that we had was to bring in sales. If you're not bringing in sales, you're not bringing in money, you're not making sense. Yeah, my God. You know that thing I say, if it's not making money, it's not making sense. So to him, if it was not making money, it was not making sense. So there was no room for creativity at all. So I've been in situations where the expectations of the business kill the creativity of the employees.
Okay.
Because you want to make sales so bad, right? And you have an idea as to how you're going to make those sales. You don't give room for your employees to be creative enough to bring new ideas as to what will help the overall goal of the company, right? So sometimes if you want to make sales, you have to spend like 3 months doing something or 6 months doing something before the money can start coming in and you start cashing out on it. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Right? So, but when leaders don't see it that way, it stifles the creativity of the employees. So again, it falls back again on leadership.
Yeah.
And falls back again on leadership. If you sorry, please. It falls back again on leadership. If your system is too rigid, if the hierarchy or the processes are too rigid, it will stifle and kill the creativity of the employees. And I've experienced it. Shout out to Mr. L, by the way.
Mr. L, shout out to you. Okay, I want to bring it down to digital creators who have full-time 9-to-5 jobs. Like a digital creator who works in insurance, a digital creator who works in a bank, and all of that. These people, they work with routines, they work with structure, they work with, there's time for everything, there's time for meetings and all of that. Do we think people like this, their routine will stifle their creativity? I don't know. I feel like we're revolving around the same question, but I just want to pitch out this question the way it appears in my head.
Yeah.
Do you think their employment would kill the creativity that they have in them? Or do you think that people are just lazy? They don't want to tap into the creative side of their lives. Oh, my employment, my job doesn't give me time. I commute to work, I get home, I'm tired. I personally, I'm a 9-to-5 person.
Oh,
and
you
at the
don't
same
say.
time, I will keep. So I'm in 9-to-5, I'm in corporate. And I'm trying to tap into this creative side of me by running a podcast on the side.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes when I get home, I get exhausted from work. I have meetings, I have things, deliverables for my bosses, tasks to get onto. So, but when I get home, I need to pay attention to my pod. I need to be creative at that time. But I get emotionally exhausted. I don't have time. I can't even think.
Yeah.
So do you think routine kills or stifles our creativity, or we're just lazy and we don't want to tap into that creative side that God has given us, that we should put out there for people to see? So let's talk about routine and creativity, for instance, like a typical 9-to-5 job, not for you who works in digital marketing, like for someone who has like...
Yeah, she just said my job is not serious, guys. She just said my job is not serious.
That's not what I said.
Go on. Posterity will judge you.
No, know Daffy, don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about routine and 9 to 5. Do you think people are just
We don't
being
have
lazy?
routine. We don't have routine now.
Do you think people are just being lazy? They don't want to be creative because,
Oh,
my job, there's no time, there's this. Just run me through that.
very, very valid though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God.
So, one thing that I should share is that I started creating content actively in 2021.
Okay. That's a long time.
Yeah, started creating content in 2021. The job I had at the time was very. It was not as hard. Maybe not hard, not as tough as the next job I took on. So in 2021, I had time. My house to my office was 5 minutes on a bike.
Okay.
Right? So I could get to the office in 5 minutes. Right. I think the office opens at 9. So I leave my house at 8:50.
And you get to the office.
Guess
in
when I
10
wake up?
minutes.
8 a.m.
Wow.
Right? So I wake at 8 a.m. I still even try to drag my feet to get ready, and I get to the office, just maybe 1 minute before 9 or sometimes 9 o'clock on the dot. So, and I close from work again, 5 minutes, I'm back in my house. I can watch the game, I can play games with my friends, I can do whatever it is that I wanted to do, right? Because, I was going to work every day, but it didn't really seem as such because the commute was short. The stress of the job was not really as much. Now, I even changed cities, right? Then I changed jobs. Now I have to commute from the mainland to the island. This time it was twice a week. Or was it 3 times a week? I can't remember anymore. So I have to commute from the mainland to the island.
Yeah.
Which means that now I have to wake up earlier. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to catch the BRT. Queue. Sometimes you queue and the bus doesn't come. That's already has weighed an emotional stress on you.
Yeah.
You're thinking about what am I going to tell HR that what's the reason that I'm going to tell HR that I'm late? Why am I saying this? I had time to focus on other aspects of my life, like content creation in 2021. By the time I changed jobs, I didn't have that time as much. Right now, time is not in the concept of okay, I got home at 6, but I sleep at 10. What am I doing from 6 to 10? The truth is that also the stress that takes a toll on you. You go to work, you wake up at 5 a.m., but you don't get to work until 9:30 because I was resuming at 10 a.m. for this new job. So it takes you like about 4 hours to prepare and get to the work. Another time again, it takes you about 3 hours again to get home. Now that's roughly about 7 hours to prepare to go to work and then to come back. The stress that weighs on you is a lot.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, and emotionally. And these things are not mutually exclusive to us. Oh, I have my mental health is separate. I have my emotional health is separate. I have my physical health is separate. Do you know that if you have that thing we call weak low on your thumb or any or your finger, it affects your whole body. You really cannot function properly. If you have a bad breakup, you're not going to say that this is my relationship life. It does not really affect my work. Even if you can shelve it aside, in a way, it's going to take a toll on and affect your productivity at work.
Yeah.
So these things are not mutually exclusive. So if you have a job that stresses you a lot, it weighs on you mentally, emotionally, and physically. You may not have the liberty to carry that extra weight of saying, you know what, I want to give an attention to my creative side aside from the work that I do in my 9 to 5. So it affects it, not necessarily because of the routine, but because of the stress that you go through on a daily basis to get to where you are. But can people still go ahead and perform magic? You're in the best position to answer that.
They do. We still go ahead.
But really, I think that I don't think that it is. I think that it is just the stress, because it is you are one person. The same mental health that you use to do calculations at work, the same mental health you use to think about what you want to eat.
Yeah.
Do you get it? The same emotional requirements that it takes for you to relate to your colleagues at work is what it requires for you to probably relate to family and friends. So it's not like there's a separate one for it. So it's one person.
It's one person. So we can agree that 9 to 5 takes a toll on creativity.
Hey,
but
Jesus,
it doesn't mean I know it does actually from what you just said. It does take it with emotional stress, but it doesn't mean you should shut off your creative side because of all the stress, right?
Exactly.
So we should also come from the angle of financial stability of what 9 to 5 gives you. Someone who wants to start up a business, a side hustle right now. Let's say you have a job and then you want to have like an extra side hustle of selling food or maybe making dresses or clothes, for instance, or you just want to be a content creator, depending on the part you want to tilt towards.
Yeah.
9 to 5 gives you that stability financially, right? Let's talk about that briefly.
So if I get your question correctly, you're speaking to the fact that the 9 to 5 helps you to actually fund your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Should you leave your 9 to 5 to go pursue your dreams or your passions?
Pursue your dream.
Because genuinely, there are people that are frustrated at jobs and it's not really paying so much, right? But they know that if they quit, they will suffer. And to be very honest, I don't know what to advise such a person. The decision still really boils down to you, because for different people, the situations are very peculiar. Somebody is sponsoring 3 siblings to school, and you want to tell the person to go and quit their job because they want to pursue a dream or a passion. Do you understand it? So I really cannot give one straight answer to that person, but the truth is, a general answer that might work for many people, for a larger populace, is that if you can run the two together simultaneously in such a way that you are not going to be putting so much burden on yourself,
Yeah.
in a way that it affects the job that actually pays and sponsors your livelihood,
Exactly.
you should go for it.
Should go
Because
for
many times we try to pick up other passions, but then it is now taking a toll
on the
real job that we have.
Exactly.
You get it? This is why when I see people taking multiple jobs, right? And then the side hustle that you are taking is affecting your main hustle, the one where your employer has to see you, and then I'm like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Because you are putting both jobs in jeopardy. You can lose
Yeah.
any of them because of your performance.
Exactly. Maybe the real question isn't about 9 to 5 killing creativity. It's about creating a life where stability, your 9 to 5 job. I want to describe your 9 to 5 job as a stable part. That's your fixed income. That's your stable income. How do we design a life where your 9 to 5 job, that's a stable one, your stability and your creativity will coexist? Let me bring, for instance, someone who is a 9 to 5 and is feeling stuck. I have this talent, I have this creative idea, I need to start sewing, I need to start making this, I need to start selling this, I need to explore my creative side, and they feel stuck on their job, on their 9 to 5 job, their stable job. How do we advise someone like that to create an environment where their stability, that's their 9 to 5 job, can coexist with their creativity, if you get my question?
Okay, great. Another interesting question, really. So, you know that there's no one size fits all answer
Yeah.
in this. For example, I say this to say that some people can actually take the liberty of, quitting their jobs and then following their passion. Some other persons cannot. Imagine somebody that is sponsoring 2 siblings in school, right? You really cannot tell the person to quit their job, even though they feel somewhat frustrated from the job, right? If they eventually do that, it is their decision to make. But you may not want to advise somebody like that to do that.
Okay.
Or else you'll be the villain in their story, right? But here is a general advice that I feel like can work for majority of people. If you can find a way where your 9 to 5 and your passion, where you can explore your creative side,
Yeah.
whether it's a business, whether it's content creation, whether it's music, whatever it is, painting, art, if you can find a way, for example, let's say you go to work from Monday to Friday, you give your employer your Monday to Fridays, say you close late from work, so you don't really have time to do all that stuff, right? And then what about your weekends that you have to yourself? Why don't you explore that?
Yeah.
To pursue that passion that you have, to explore that creativity. In fact, you don't necessarily need to wait till the weekend. You can begin to dedicate little pockets of time, say 30 minutes in the morning, right, on your commute to work, or 30 minutes before you go to bed, right? Just work on something so that by the time you're approaching the weekend, you are fired up already, anticipating to do that thing that you actually do love, right? Because many times we're like, you know what, I'm going to do it during the weekend, but you don't have a clear-cut plan as to what to do. Let me take, for example, you're a content creator, and you say, I'm going to show content during the weekend. You run a podcast.
I do.
Right? But you didn't just think about the podcast this weekend, because we're having this podcast on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You didn't just think about it oh, I'm going to do it on the weekend, you had reached out to me. We had different
A long time
conversations,
ago, yeah.
right? And these conversations were not on weekends; they were during the week.
Mm-hmm.
You found little pockets of time where we could talk, where we could exchange a few messages. Do you understand it?
Exactly.
Right? So what that does is that it already creates an anticipation and expectation inside of you towards what you want to do the weekend. The weekend is just for you to execute.
Yeah.
So you could find pockets of time, right? Begin to plan what you want to do during the week. That way it raises up your expectation. If it's to read about it, to write about it, to contact the persons who will be involved, just so that your expectations are high. And so
Yeah.
when you get to the weekend, it's easy for you to execute. So if you can do that, I believe that both your passion, which is the one that will give rise to your creative side, you can exploit. And I strongly advise that every person should look for that one thing that they are passionate about, that fuels their creativity, that helps them to explore their creativity. You know why? Because when we are happy in one aspect of our life, it finds a way to reflect in other aspects of our life. Say, for
Yeah.
example, do you know that if you are in a relationship, happy relationship, it's easy for people to tell in the office, you're always smiling,
Exactly.
giggling and laughing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it actually does help your productivity at work because you are happy, you're comfortable. Do you get it? So if you're doing something that you love and you enjoy and you're getting accolades for it outside of work, it fuels your enthusiasm to life,
Yeah.
and then it helps your productivity. So
Exactly.
whatever it is you're doing, your job might be stressful, but find a way to allow your creative side to find exploration.
Thrive. Find a way to find your creative side, to
Yes.
find exploration. I like that. So let's really flip the script a little bit. We've been talking about 9 to 5 killing creativity. Let's now let's discuss from the angle of 9 to 5 actually helping your creativity. Does 9 to 5 fuel creativity as creators, as maybe a business person or someone who wants to have a side hustle?
Yeah.
Can 9 to 5 help that?
Okay, great. I have practicals. So, like I said, I was creating content in 2021. I stopped, and then in 2025, I came back to create content. And I settled to start creating content about the workspace and the 9 to 5 ecosystem in Africa. And it was my 9 to 5 that actually fueled that part of my life, to be very honest. It was a toxic job, right? It was a toxic job. It was a job where,
Tell me, run me through it.
yeah, it was actually a toxic job.
Okay.
Let me put it at that.
It's okay. Go ahead.
But that opened a window for me to actually find something to talk about. And I turned that toxicity and that hostility in that environment, that frustration, I turned it into content,
Yeah.
something to laugh about. So because it was toxic, I and my colleagues at the office, we just talk about a few things that happened because we had our own office to ourselves. We just talk about a few things happening and we just laugh about it. And I feel like, oh, great. If we can actually laugh about this, it means that thousands of other persons
people
can
can
actually laugh
relate.
about it too. And so that's why I started creating content off the toxicity of my 9 to 5. So I think that, it boils back again down to what creativity is. Creativity happens within the confines of limitations, right?
Yeah.
So different boxes come together. You can take from this box, and then you bring it into another box. And that is what creativity is. So you took your 9 to 5 and then you took humor and then you merge it together and then you have a 9 to 5 content creator. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So anything can fuel your creativity. It just depends on how you're seeing it. It depends on
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
perspective. So it can also frustrate your creativity, but it can also fuel your creativity.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Can also fuel your creativity. And let's even come from the angle of someone who wants to run a business and
Yeah.
you want to start up something. And who are your immediate, if you want to have customers?
Your colleagues.
Your colleagues, of course. So 9 to 5 fuels creativity. It doesn't
Oh, yeah.
actually kill it. We just
True.
have to find a way to structure
Exactly.
for stability and creativity to coexist. Yeah, that's fine. So I have some rapid fire questions for you, Daffy. Are you ready?
Bring it on. Bring it on. My
Are you
school
ready
fees.
for me?
I'm going to make my father proud. School fees you pay, you not go to waste.
Okay. Let's see. I have some. Let's start from. I need you to just quickly give me the answers. God will help you. Don't worry.
Jesus
You're
Christ.
blessed and highly favored.
God, I beg you.
So just give me quick answers to my quick questions.
Okay. Let's go.
9 to 5 for freelance.
I'm supposed to answer very fast.
Yes, please. They are rapid fire questions. 9 to 5 for freelancing.
I don't know. It's too difficult to choose.
Just tell me. Just tell me.
I'm coming away. Please let me think about this thing. Well, 9 to 5 or freelance. In freelance, you have 1,000 bosses. 9 to 5, you have just one boss. Steady source of income, unstable source of income.
You're really thinking about this too much. Like, I need it to be rapid. Yeah,
Okay,
rapid
sorry.
fire.
Let's do
Rapid
it
fire.
again. 9 to 5 or freelance.
9 to 5 or freelance.
9 to 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Corporate meetings. You know what? Let's come from this angle.
Okay.
Because I wanted to just like give you a word and you tell me a better word.
Okay.
Or what you think it should be. Okay. Creativity or stability?
Ifunaya, why are you doing this to me?
Creativity or stability, Daffy?
Stability.
Stability.
Yeah.
You're still going for 9 to 5. Okay, interesting. All right. One word to describe corporate life.
Survivor of the politicians.
That's interesting because we just quickly, the episode before that I've had an episode on corporate politics and office politics. You should watch that. You guys should watch that. So, can you say that again?
Survivor of the politicians, man.
Survival of the politicians.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. you need to do good work, but if your good work is not seen, I'm sorry for you, man.
I'm sorry for you, really. If you're not visible.
If you say that, I don't really concern myself with this politics and whatnot. I'm sorry for you.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, please.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
First app you open in the morning, Daffy?
First app I open in the morning has to be Instagram.
You don't open your Bible app.
No, I have a physical Bible. Why should I open the Bible?
So do you open the physical Bible first?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Before you open Instagram?
Yes. And I don't even open Instagram until like what? 7, 6?
Okay. If you weren't a digital creator, what would you be?
I'll be a pastor.
For real?
Or is it at
Be
home?
serious with me.
Is it at home, Dad?
Is it at home, Dad?
Yes.
How would the money be coming? Okay, your
That's why I
wife
sit-
will. Okay.
that's why I sit at home.
You're very crazy. All right, favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
The Suits?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You like Suits?
Yeah, I do. I've seen it like 5 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is Friends. Do you like Friends?
I like Friends.
Okay, let's keep
not
that.
the TV show.
Let's keep that.
But
Okay.
I've never seen Friends.
You should see Friends. Okay. Work from home or work from anywhere?
Work from anywhere, please.
Okay. Dream collaboration. Anyone dead or alive? Who do you dream to collaborate with? Who do you dream to work with?
Who do I dream to work with? Dead or alive? Dead first. That I would have wished to work with. Michael Jackson.
Okay. All right. I take that. So I want you to just like really talk to someone in 9 to 5 who feels stuck on their job.
Okay.
That they are so stuck that their creative spark is really dying. In fact, it's dead. There's nothing in there. I want you to advise someone in that space. How can they really tap into this creativity that they have that is actually slowly getting killed by their 9 to 5 routine job? Please advise someone in that space.
Okay.
You have a floor.
Let me face the camera now. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to call you Naya, right?
Okay.
Great. Hi, Naya. Truth is, we all get burned out at some point in our lives. And it's just proof that you're a human being. And it's also proof that you have so much more to give, to be very honest. Even the best of machines break down, right? And they need servicing from time to time. But you see, the human mind and the human body is stronger than any machine ever built upon the face of the earth, because we can rejuvenate, we can come back. People still do amazing stuff even when they're 80, when they're 70, right? So being burned out is a proof that you're a human being undergoing a certain process. What can you do? Take a break, right? Take a structured break. Take a break, step back from the routine. You need to create some... Research actually proves this. You need to create a certain break or an intervention. Something that breaks your routine and your pattern, and then it helps you to rewire other parts of your brain, really. Take a break, read a book, watch a TV show, something just out of your normal routine. You need to do something out of your normal routine. Break free from your normal routine. Now, in the process, it doesn't make any sense. But what it does is that it is rewiring your brain, rewiring other parts of your brain that awakens you and awakens life again inside of you, right? So take a break. You might not have the funds to go on a solo trip like Ifunaya, right? But you can afford to read a book. You can afford to see another TV show. You can afford to probably take a walk in the park. Do it probably every evening or every morning. And you will realize that you come back a different person. And one other last thing that I think that you should do is to journal your thoughts in this process. You will discover somebody new. There's a particular quote, I'm going to end with this. It says that the way we learn about the world is by reading, the way we learn about ourselves is by writing. So if you want to learn about yourself, you need to take journaling a little bit more seriously, give more attention to it and write down the things you discovered about yourself in this process. And trust me, you're going to come back a totally new, different person. I'm listening for you now.
Thank you, Daffy. You just had to put it out there that I went on a solo trip. I will kill you once the camera is off.
Yes. It is taking it.
So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence
I
here.
am excited to be here. Thank you very much for
Thank you very
much for
everyone listening. I'm excited. I'm glad we talked about this today. If this topic resonates with you, if this topic hits home, I want you to share. But I also want to leave you with this. You are more than your job title. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to create. You're allowed to tap into your creative side. Do not live your life for 10 years and look back and say, oh, Jesus, I was just a project manager, or I was just a digital marketer, or I was just this. You need to tap into that part of you that is away from your 9-to-5 job. Like I said, I'll keep saying it to everybody. You're more than a project manager. You're just more than your job title. There are so many things that you need to explore in your life, and I'm glad we've talked about this today. So if this topic resonates with you, I want you to share, subscribe, watch, share to everybody so that this can go viral. Thank you for being here with us. Do not forget to subscribe and do not forget to like, comment on our social media platforms. Till next time, this is Funa signing out. Bye.
This is where 9 to 5 ends and real talk begins. The After 5 Diaries.